Hi, everybody. It's a instructional video for 3.04, your reporter's reflection. This is a required assignment. So, oh, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Lesson resources, student guide. Okay, so for this assignment, basically, like it says, you're digging deeper is what you're doing. So you had that 3.01. This is just another extension of that assignment. So you picked a topic to do your story proposal on, right? So now what you're doing is you're thinking about non-human resources. So not the people you're interviewing, but where you're going to pull that research from, where you're going to pull information from. So whatever it was that you chose to do your proposal on, you're doing kind of an extension of that. So basically what you're doing is you're going to brainstorm places to look for non-human sources. You're going to look online and offline in places that you think that sort of information may be created, collected, or compiled. So you're going to find 4 possible non-human sources for the information you need and note where you will be able to access that information, either online or off. You will not yet quite identify the source that you will be ultimately use, but you will narrow down the list in your story proposal. So like I said, we use that story proposal in 3.01. Now we're kind of like, okay, where can we look? Where can we get some information? So if you did the extra credit assignment where you kind of looked at this already, can you use that? Absolutely. So that's where I was saying that extra credit back from last week kind of was a plus where you may have already started to work on this a little bit. So basically, you are going to need 1 sentence description of your story idea. So what was your story proposal, right? And then just a really brief paragraph saying where maybe you could look for those sources. So I don't necessarily need to have the exact source right now. These are just places where you think you can look, right? So you need a list of those 4 possible non-human sources. So if you are, let's use the example that I've used all along. Let's say we're looking at a young lady who is I'm looking to interview the young lady who uh, raised money to help the displaced animals during the hurricane. What are some of the non? So my human sources would be her. So like I'm not going to list that, right? So, but some of my non-human sources might be the Humane Society website, could be any information about the hurricane, like could be maybe the New York Times, it could be the Weather Channel, it could be Animal Planet, if there was a story run on any of the animals during that time. So that kind of gives you an idea of the different non-human ideas or sources that you're looking for. So then links where I would find those. So if I'm looking at Animal Planet, I'm just going to type in the link to the Animal Planet, right? If I'm looking at CNN, I would just type in a CNN link, right? So those are the places that I could kind of look. I don't necessarily need a direct link to a source that's telling me about that, not quite yet. You eventually are going to need those things. So if you want to do that now, that's fantastic. But I just need an idea of where to look for those things. So if you already know in your mind where you're going to look for those non-human sources and you want to look up those articles or that information, more power to you. Absolutely can do it. But for this, I just need you to have in your mind an idea of places you can look and links to where you would be able to look for like CNN, Animal Planet, whatever it is that you're looking for, Cisca, the ASPCA, whatever it is that you're looking for, right? And remember, it's for whatever your story proposal was, right? So if I'm writing about someone who's trying to help animals, that would be my story proposal. Whatever yours is what you would need to look at. Okay, so hopefully that clarifies the assignment for you. If you have questions, please let me know.